What is going on? My name is Mongo, and in today's video, I'm going to teach you the real right way to use ChatGPT to build SEO for your blogs. This is a very comprehensive way to do it with keyword research to make sure that you're getting at the top of Google. This is massive stuff, guys. Like, I can't emphasize enough how important this could be. And you could do this in 1/5 of the amount of time as a professional copywriter. Although I'm not knocking professional copywriters, I'm sure they could do this way better than what I'm doing. This is a phenomenal way for you to rank at the very top of Google and become the niche expert in your niche or in your area, and become the neighborhood expert as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get on into it. Got all of my stuff right here. If you guys want to follow me on anything else, obviously you're already on YouTube. I don't know why I put that one on there, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. Let me share my screen here. All right, so what we're going to want to do, I will have this checklist here that I've created down below in the remarks section as a free download. You will have to put in your email just so I can email it to you. I'm not planning on spamming these emails or anything like that. I may send out some of my more recent videos if I believe they are helpful or if they're doing well or something like that, but I'm not going to try to spam you guys with all of that stuff. So if you want the checklist, go down below. But you definitely need to finish watching the video to make sure that you're doing everything the way that you need to. So this is a checklist here that we're going to use, and I'm just going to run through these different things. Now, this is using ChatGPT, which for those of you guys that don't know, if you haven't used it before, it's chat.openai.com. And then I'm in /chat right now. As soon as you open it up, you'll have all these other prompts. And you're basically just going to follow the steps that I am showing you or that I'm about to show you. And it is a great way to get extremely hyper niched content and lots of keywords and things like that. I'm not going to go into the tactics of putting it into your blog, because the blog that I use or the website that I use is going to be different than yours. So you are going to have to do some stuff at the end of this that I'm not going to go over, but I will explain what you need to do at the end of this. It's very simple stuff. This is going to seem daunting at first, but guys, I'm telling you, if you're not tech savvy, don't worry. It's so simple once you get down to doing it. You do have to do it a couple of times to kind of understand the cadence, and you do need to prep ChatGPT. That's very important. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Googling the topic that you would like to search. It's very simple stuff. So let's say I want to do a blog on Destin, Florida. That's where I live. Well, I technically live in Fort Walton Beach, but let's say Destin, FL. Come on. There we go. So it's going to come up with a lot of cool different results. I'm going to keep that up here. And let's go to the next one. In the Google search bar, you'll see people also search for. We're going to open up a few of these. I'm going to skip this step for now because I did kind of change it at the end. Forgive me. I literally just did this within minutes. So this video is not going to be as polished as some of my other ones. Forgive me on that. We're going to skip this next one as well. I'll update this checklist. So forgive me on that. Find a keyword with different average monthly searches. So here's what we're going to want to do is go to the Google Keyword Planner. Okay. If you guys have not done this before, you will need to create an account. I'm not going to go through on how to do this. It's very simple to do. A quick Google search will help you do this, this Google search, right? So what you're going to want to do is whenever you come in this tools and settings up here, you're going to have a keyword planner. You're going to click on this bad boy here, and we are going to go into get search volume and forecasts. And then we're just going to type in Destin FL, right? We're going to get started. It's going to give us some different options here. Keyword ideas. There we go. My face was in front of it. Destin FL. Originally, when I was doing this, the reason why the checklist is kind of messed up is because I was going through and taking a bunch of the other keywords and adding them in here, but you don't need to do that. That is a redundant step that I am going to remove out of this process. So when I'm going here, what Google is telling you is how many monthly searches right here, what the 3-month change is, and the year-over-year change, and if the competition is high, low, medium, etc. The reason why all these are the 4 that are important. I don't care about the rest of this. The rest of this is for if you're running ads through Google AdWords. I'm not going to go into all of that. I will later in other videos. But this one, I put in my keyword. I'm looking to do stuff around Destin, Florida. Okay. Now, I don't need to rank for Destin, Florida. That's going to be a little bit hard for me to rank for that one right now. But once I start becoming the dominant website in the area and people are watching more and more and they're reading more and more and they're on my site more and more, I can then start targeting Destin, Florida. But right now, it's not a great keyword to go after. Great monthly searches, but not year over year, 3-month change. Now, I want to get some quick traffic, right? So I'm going to look at something that has good year over year and 3-month change. So as I'm scrolling down here, I'm going to look at this. Let's see, VRBO Destin, Florida, up 900% in the last 3 months, which means people are starting to prep to come down here for vacation. That might be a good one to do. It's got good search volume, etc. But this is the one that I chose for this video, Destin Resorts, just because it was kind of fun for me. It has good average monthly search volume. I'm not going to tell you what is good for you because your city is going to be different than mine. So pick ones that's kind of on the higher end. Like I don't want to pick one from 1,000 to 10,000 monthly searches. Although if you're just starting out and it's your first one, these are not bad ones to do either. But as you'll see with this video, once you get this down, you can do all of these very quickly and start ranking like crazy. Okay. So what used to take months and months and months of work, you can do in a matter of weeks. Okay. And because it does take the algorithm a while to start bumping you up. So don't expect this to be right away. You're not going to write one blog and then all of a sudden be on the first page on Google, unless you get really lucky, I guess. I don't know. So I chose Destin Resorts because it's got a 3-month one. There was another one down here. This one right here, places to stay in Destin, Florida, would be a good one too, especially if I was just starting out. But I've got 200 blogs already on my website, so I'm not going to go for this lower guy just because of the average monthly searches. But this is a really good one because it's got a 900% year over year and 3-month change. So these are the kind of things that I'm looking for. I'm looking for high traffic. Now, you don't have to do this on all of them. Okay, I'm just doing this one because I want quick traffic. Okay, I want to get that instant gratification that we all love as real estate agents. And I want you guys to do the same thing before you start playing with this for other things. Keep in mind, you can do searches on this kind of stuff and do topics on other things that will then have a high year over year change, especially if you're in an area like us where it's a tourist town and we have, it bumps up from time to time, right? But for now, we're going to go ahead and do Destin Resort. So I'm going to copy that bad boy here and I'm going to go back to my checklist. I'm a checklist person. I'm prior military, so forgive me on that. I want to make sure I'm getting everything right. So we've done this. We found a keyword with decent monthly searches, 3-month change and year over year of 900%, preferred with low competition. I didn't talk about that. That was also on here, low competition, meaning not a lot of people are doing blogs about this, right? So we want to capture some of that attention. And I know you guys are thinking, well, how does Destin Resorts help you, Mongo? Like what, how is this going to help you? Well, we sell condos out here. These resorts have condos. So in turn, it's going to help. Instead of just going for Destin condos, we're going for Destin Resorts to go around the topic to give us some authority on the internet. Okay. Oops, that's not the right one. Let me go ahead and get rid of that bad boy. All right. So we've done that. Now we're going to Google our new target keyword and check out the first page and what they're posting about. Okay. So I take this Destin Resorts. I'm going to go here and go Destin Resorts. Now there's a couple of things I'm looking for here. One, I would find one that is an actual blog, not these booking and TripAdvisors. These are technically blogs, but the way they built them out isn't really conducive to what we're trying to do. So I'm going to scroll down until I find one. I did right here, Planet Where, 8 top rated resorts in Destin, Florida. This is if you're trying to make it a certain length. For this video, I'm not going to do that, but if you wanted to, you can open this up. You can throw it in a Word document, as I have right here. You'd open it up and copy and paste the entire article in here and look at the bottom for the amount of words, okay? This is important because Google likes the amount of words that this blog already has, so why not duplicate it? We know Google likes it. It got it to the first page of Google, so we want it to be around these words, and I'll talk about that a little bit later, but for right now, I'm going to throw that to the side. I'm going to kind of look at some of these. I'm going to click on a few of these, check out what they look like. But the big thing that I'm looking for right now is this section right here. People also ask. Google is telling you outright what other people are asking. So I'm going to open up a few of these, and what that's going to do is give me some more suggestions, okay? So I'm going to open up about 3. It'll give me about 10 questions here, and I'm going to want to keep this up here for a second. Let me go back to my checklist. Again, I don't want to skip any steps. So we've done that. We open up the top ranked non-ad. We just talked about that. That's how many words that you're looking for. That's the length that you're going to shoot for. And then we're going to open up chat.openai.com. If you haven't, this is a free tool. You can open this up right now. You can literally create an account in seconds. Now, please keep in mind, the site is down a lot right now. This is the fastest growing website on the planet. I don't remember how many it has, but it's beaten every social media site and all of this other stuff. It is the most used thing. So it's down a lot. Okay. And there are other AI tools you can use like compose.ai and things like that. But this is just a free version. Anybody can do this. So if you're a brand new agent, you don't want to spend money or you want to put a virtual assistant on something like this is a great way to do it. So I just started out by prompting it to tell me about Destin Resorts. Okay. I'm just warming it up. There's going to be several different prompts we're going to put in here before we get into the actual goods of the blog. Okay. And it's done with good reason. This is what separates good content from bad content, or it separates people running forward in the right direction versus running backwards. If you do this the wrong way, if you just put in, give me a blog about Destin Resorts, you will get a blog for sure. It will be better than nothing. Yes, but it will not be super great. It will not be unique. It will not speak to your brand. All of these things that I'm about to say are super important. I can't emphasize that enough. That's why I wanted to take a little second to do that. Let's see here. Let me move this out of the way. We won't need this ever again, but we do need our checklist, right? All right, go to ChatGPT. We're going to start prompting it. Okay. Let's see. Actually, I think, no, I skipped. Sorry. I skipped a whole bunch there. Okay, so now we're going to begin to prep ChatGPT. I didn't even follow my own checklist. That's so funny. Begin to prep ChatGPT with, I want to write an article with a keyword, Destin Resorts. Do you understand? You're going to notice I ask it, do you understand, about 5 or 6 times or 3 times, something like that. Very, very important. So after it gave me a little bit of information, what I'm doing here when I ask this is making sure that it's understanding already, right? So now the next thing is, I want to write an article today with a keyword of Destin Resorts. Do you understand? I prepped all of this for the video for you so that you guys don't have to wait for the prompt to go through. It's almost instant. It's very quick. It's faster than most people can type that the answers come through. But for the video's timeliness sake, I wanted to make sure that wasn't in there. I had a little misspelling here. So yes, it understands we want to write an article and it's okay, cool. It would be happy to assist. Good. It's on what we want to do. Now I'm going to go back to my checklist and then I'm going to tell it about your brand. This is very important right here. This is the one. If you comment down below and you say, well, it didn't work for me, it didn't work right, this is the step that you probably missed most likely. This is very important. This is how you make it unique. This is how you beat the bots that are reading everything to make it sound like it's coming from a person instead of a bot. Google, Bing, all these search engines are tracking that, okay? There's actually a whole bunch of websites and stuff out there that you can put your blog in and it will tell you if it thinks it's a human or a bot. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but you can run it through one of those checkers. So I'm going to type in, our brand does not own any resorts, right? Our brand does not own any resorts. We sell condos at these resorts, though. Do you understand? So now it's going to start adjusting what we were originally going to do. When I first did this search, look at what the search was coming up. The 10 best Destin, the 7 best resorts in Destin, the 8 top rated in Destin. I thought that's where this blog was going to go, but it's not. As you'll see right here, after I type this, we sell resorts. It's going, oh, okay. So you don't want to get people to the resort. That's not your plan. Your plan is to give information about people wanting to buy in these resorts. Good stuff. That's what we want, right? So our brand does not own any resorts. Okay, cool. Yes, I understand. You focus highlighting the benefits of owning a condo in Destin. You can talk about the location, the attractions, the activities available in the area, as well as various amenities and services. Additionally, we can discuss what owning a condo at the resort in Destin is a great investment opportunity. Great. So this is more targeted to my audience because doing a great blog and getting a lot of people to my site is great, but without the type of content that I want in there doesn't do us much good. Our phone's not going to ring. Okay. It's just going to be information for somebody to find out. And it's some, find out information about these resorts. And that's something they can do on somebody else's site. We want to produce income. We want to produce a phone call. We want to produce leads. Okay. So that's why we do this. Do not skip this step. And it doesn't have to be, it could a number of things, but basically tell it about your brand. And you can actually go pretty in depth with this. But again, for the video's sake, I'm just doing it kind of simply just to kind of show you here. Then I'm going to go back to my checklist, right? And told it about my brand. Now I'm going to type in, I'm going to click this so I don't keep messing up where I'm at here. Type your keyword into Google and go to the people also searched for column and open up several and copy a bunch. So remember, we kind of did this step earlier because I was jumping the gun a little bit. So we go down here, we open up a whole bunch of these, and we're just literally going to copy and paste right out of here. Control C, go into here, and then type, I'd like to try and answer these questions in the article if possible. And then I'm just going to paste that set. As you can see, what is the best month to visit Destin? What is the best month to visit Destin? Which is better, Miramar Beach or Destin? Which is better, Miramar Beach or Destin? These are all things that we want to answer, okay? And the reason why we do this, for those of you that haven't done SEO, search engine optimization on a high level, is because these are being searched. If Google then says, okay, somebody searched Destin resorts, and they're also wanting to know about these other things, and you answer all of it in your article, Google goes, that's the one we want to give somebody. That's the one. They know what people are searching for, and they know why they're searching, at least most of the time, okay? It's obviously an algorithm. And then at the end, I'm going to do another space and do you understand? This spacing, how I spaced it out or whatever, isn't that important. You don't have to copy that verbatim. I just like the spaces, and I missed one up here. Doesn't matter. But now we're going to talk about all of these things, okay? Great. I look at it and it says, yes, I understand. Here's a brief overview of each question. Don't worry about this. Just glance over it and make sure that some of it looks accurate. Please keep in mind, AI is not perfect right now. So you do need to go over all of this stuff. This is not going to be something that you just click and play. You can, but you might be wrong. It might give you wrong information, and that's not good to the consumer. Okay. So we've done this bad boy. Now we're going to go to ChatGPT. I'd like to try to answer these questions. We just did that. And then I want to add these keywords to the article. Okay. So when I go down here, it gives me all of this, and I say, I want to try to add these keywords to this article. Well, Andrew or Mongo, where do I get these keywords? This is where you're adding in your entire SEO strategy. I just put 2 in here, but when I redo this, because I'm actually going to put this blog onto my website, once I spruce it up a little bit, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my blog, and I'm going to find other keywords in other blogs and other titles that this is relating to, because what I'm going to do later, this is the stuff I'm not going to talk about in the video as much, but I will at the very end on what you should do. I want to hyperlink or internally link each one of these. So by sneaking some of these in here, Destin, Florida Golf, whenever that comes up in my blog and I hit Control F on the blog later, I'm going to make that a link to go to another blog. And the reason why we do this is because Google values how much time is on your website. That's how they know how valuable the website is. So by internally linking, they're staying on your website a little bit more and more. Now you're starting to see, okay, cool. Well, now Google's starting to see, okay, cool. Well, people are staying on here. So you want a bunch of these. I generally do probably 5 to 10 of them. If it's a really long article like this one is going to be, this is going to be a main article, basically. I would actually want to put like 20 of these in here, okay? And Destin, Florida Golf, as you can see here. Let's see, I've got it in here somewhere. Oh, I'm on the second page just because I was kind of scrolling through. The very first one that comes in is Destin, Florida Golf, right? Okay, cool. So I'm going to link to that one. I have a whole bunch of draft right now just because I just swapped CRM systems, so forgive that. But I would basically go through this, and if you have a way to do it where you can just quick search it, I would quick search the word Destin, or if you put them in categories properly, I would do the Destin ones, and I would start running through some of these that make sense around that, right? Somebody that's coming here to buy a condo might want to know where the golfing is. So that's why I put that in there. And of course, for the example, right? Okay, so I put a couple of them in here. Best Destin, Florida condos. Obviously, that needs to be in here as well because these resorts are also condominiums. Do you understand? Yes, you can certainly include these. I read this whole thing again, read the prompt, make sure it makes sense, make sure it's going in the direction you want. We've added that. Now I'm going to ask it to please remember to mention the brands in my keyword list and the questions that I added before the article. Do you understand? I'm just kind of doing a redundancy here. Now, ChatGPT should understand to use that. As long as you put it all in one chat and you didn't come over here and click something else, then it should already remember this. But I'm just double checking just because I've had a couple of hiccups before where it didn't add everything that I was talking about. So I type that in. Please remember to mention the brands in my keyword list and the questions that I added before the article. Do you understand? That's asking these things. That's asking about this. It's just making sure everything's in there. Cool. I feel like I beat that dead horse. Let's move on. So I read, it says, yes, I understand. You'd like me to include the brands in your keyword list. Best Destin, Florida condos. Good. And the questions you provide in the articles. Good. Cool. Next one. Please give me a blog outline for this article. If you try to get it to write the whole blog right now, a lot of times it's going to mess up. And this is where AI is taking a little bit of time to catch up. So if you're watching this 6 months from now, you may not have to do all of this. This is a little bit ahead of its time. You may be able to just say, okay, great. Now write the article for me and put it between 1,750 and 2,250 words. That's why I had you guys earlier do the word count. That's the last time I'm going to mention that word count, because I'm not actually going to do that in this blog. But later on, you would want to do that. Or after it starts giving you the blog, you can copy paste the whole thing, put it in here and say, condense this down to 2,100 words, from 2,000 to 2,200 words, and it will change the blog up and do that. Okay. So now it gives me a blog, and this is, look at this outline. This is monstrous. If any of you guys have ever written blogs before, you know how painful it is. It talks about the introduction, best time to visit Destin, Miramar Beach versus Destin for people that are considering both. I want to give them options. And that Miramar Beach one would be a great one for up here when we were doing the different keywords. I would want to sneak in some Miramar Beach stuff as well, right? Because in that whole section, when they say Miramar Beach Resorts, that could be a link that then goes to a Miramar Beach Resorts blog. Okay. But I'm going a little bit more in depth, and I'm trying to keep this super light and easy. So now we've got this massive outline, right? I mean, look at this thing. This is, I don't know how many this is, 15 different sections. Great stuff. So then I'm going to go back to, again, my checklist. Once the outline is done and it looks good, because you've looked over it, you maybe erase some of the areas that you don't want to talk about. Let's say I only wanted Destin. I didn't want to touch Miramar at all. I would take out that section. Okay. So once that outline is done, take the first section and copy and paste it into the prompt, and just simply write, put the word write and then copy and paste this in the section. So let's go ahead and look at what I did. I put write, and then I came up here and I copied this, and I just typed in the word write, added a space, and pasted it in. Okay. And then now it starts giving me my blog right now. Okay, cool. I'm 3 paragraphs in. Now, originally, sometimes you can write continue and it will start running through the blog. Like it'll go to the next section and write it for you. In this case, it did not. Okay. So what I did is I just went back. So now it's continuing from number 2. It's basically giving me my outline again. So what I would do personally is copy and paste this into a Word document or into your Google Sheets or whatever you're working in, because you're still going to have to put bullet points. You're still going to have to put internal links. You're still going to have to put headings and subheadings and things like that. Okay. So what I did is I went down here and I went right, and then I tried to do the entire thing, mainly because I've been experimenting with this and I was hoping maybe this would be the time that it caught on, and it didn't. So then I went to just the second section. So that's what you guys should do. Write, and then the first section, copy, paste it into whatever you're working in, then write second section, copy, paste right here. Boom. Okay, cool. Put that underneath. And you're just going to keep doing this through the whole thing until it is done. Okay. Now what you're going to need to do, this is where, let me stop sharing here because there's not much more else to show you. This is where whatever you're working in, whether it's Word or, your Google Sheets, or even if you're pasting this into your blog, this is when you want to start adding pictures. This is when you want to start, adding the bullet points, make it look friendly for somebody to read. That's what Google is looking for. So when the spiders crawl your website, it's what they're called. Google has what they call spiders, and they crawl your website to see how search or how keyword friendly it is. They're looking at this too, and they're also very intelligent, and they know what is good to the human eye and what is going to be very readable. So you want to make sure you do all of that. Then you want to go through on each of those keywords that you're linking to other portions of your website, highlight those and insert the link with the actual link of the blog. So you're going to have to go into your real website, not the back end, your actual website, I'm the best realtor.com, blog section, best golf courses in Florida. And I'm going to go up to the top and I'm going to copy the link, and I'm going to put that into an internal link so that if somebody clicks those words, it takes them to that blog. Okay. Whether or not it pops up in a new window or you have it stay on the same window is up to you. I always make it stay in the same window if they're staying on my website, and if they're going out of my website, I pop it in a new window. That's just what I do personally, but there's theories on which way to do both, right? So now you're going to do that throughout the entire thing. It's very easy to do if you're doing it in like something like Word or Google Sheets. You can just hit Control F and search for the keywords that you want. And every time those keywords come up, throw those links in there. And like I said, pictures as well. You want to break it up. You want to make it easy to read. If you have a website that doesn't format very easily, I've had these before. I'm not going to shout out certain CRMs that are terrible for bloggers. If you have one of those, you can also have it write these in HTML code, okay? And then you can copy that code and do it that way. If you do know code, you already know what I'm talking about, and you already understand that that is a great way to build a website if that's how your brain works, right? I think that is all of it in this section here that I wanted to go over. I can go over a couple of other topics around this subject in future videos, but for right now, I wanted to get this out because this is the best way that I found to write a solid blog that can rank very quickly with very little work. This entire thing, I don't know how long this video has been recording, but it's only been a few minutes and we have an entire blog sitting here. I would still have to do about 20, maybe 25 minutes of work adding in the bullet points and the pictures and the subheadings and headings, but then we're done. You could sit here and grind these out several a day. So if this is one of your prospecting styles, I always teach 3 pillars of prospecting. If this is one of them, you could probably knock out 2 of these in an hour. And if you're prospecting for 3 hours a day, and this is one of your pillars, it's 2 blogs a day around super hyper content. Now, the keyword research is very important. Like every step that we talked about here is super important. So make sure you're not skipping any of those. It's really easy to go, well, I don't want to do the keyword planner portion. Well, like that's going to be a pretty important step, right? So anyway, I'm kind of rambling on at this point. I really appreciate everybody that has been watching. I'm going to throw all of my contact information up on the screen here in a second, so you guys can reach out to me if you'd like. You can comment down below if you have any extra questions. I'll try to help when I can. Please keep in mind, I am a real estate team leader, and where we do a lot of volume. So I stay fairly busy. So if I can't get to you right away, I will get to you as quickly as I can. I really appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you have not already. And if you guys are curious about why I took my entire team over to LPT Realty from EXP, just reach out to me. Let me know. I'd love to chat with you about that. It's a similar model. I think it's just a little bit better and a little bit more streamlined. So you can always reach out to me about that because I love talking about my brokerage. So anyway, I guess I'll see you guys next week.